Am I audible and visible, ma'am?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, on behalf of Department of Biotechnology, I would like to welcome Dr. Neelabh from Samadhaan Life Science, and I would like to introduce you to our faculty, Arun Kumar sir, and one of our faculty, Divya Lakshmi ma'am, and Divya Bharti ma'am. She will be joining very soon. So, I
Okay.
think, Arun sir, shall we start the session?
Yes, ma'am, we can start the session, ma'am. Good morning, Dr. Neelabh. I'm Arun Kumar here.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, sir. Hope your Sunday is going well.
Yeah, definitely. It's very fine. And what a start to the Sunday and getting a chance to talk to students.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, I think, Treya, now you can start the session.
Sure, ma'am. I'll hand it over to Janani.
Good morning to all the respected faculty members and dear students. I'm Janani and I feel honored to be your host for today's session. On behalf of the Journal Club of Biotechnology, Department of Biotechnology, Rajalakshmi Engineering College, I warmly welcome you all to today's guest lecture session organized in association with the BT Society and the Institution Innovation Council. Today's session is titled Debugging Biotech Careers, Your Gateway to Success. This session is specially designed to give clarity on career pathways in biotechnology and to guide students on how to strategically prepare for the GATE examination. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Neelabh Srivatsava. Dr. Srivatsava is the director and founder of Samadhaan Life Sciences and holds a PhD in biotechnology from Banaras Hindu University. He brings over 7 years of experience in teaching and research with contributions from reputed institutions like BHU and SRM University. He has published more than 30 research articles and book chapters with international publishers and serves on the editorial boards of several peer-reviewed journals. He is also a recipient of prestigious recognitions including Young Fellowship and Travel Awards from CSIR, DST, and ICMR. Additionally, he is widely known for his educational outreach through his YouTube channel, Instant Biology by Dr. Neelabh, which has over 63,000 subscribers. We are truly honored to have such an accomplished speaker with us today. Without further delay, I invite Dr. Neelabh Srivatsava to take over the session.
Thank you, Janani. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes,
sir.
Thank you. Just a second. I just want to announce one thing. I request all of you to be there till the end of the session because we want to take a group photo. So that time you have to switch on the video and we'll be taking a group photo. Okay. Yes, Neelabh. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you, Rekha ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to speak to the students of Rajalakshmi Engineering College. Apart from that, I would also like to thank other faculty members who have joined this particular session. So before starting this session, I would want to briefly tell you that what this session is all about. I would be dividing this session into three parts. In the initial part, I would be discussing about the job opportunities that you can target in biotechnology. Apart from that, how you can approach the different biotechnology job opportunities, how you should prepare your CV, what is a cover letter, how you should approach the different HRs. So this would be the first part. In the second part, we would be discussing about the higher education. That means masters and the PhDs and postdoc opportunities that you might want to get into. And in the final part, I would be opening the session to question and answers. So I would be happy to address all of your questions. So I would want this session to be interactive, and I would love you all to ask questions. Whatever little knowledge I have, I would be happy to answer to all of your queries. I'm just sharing up my screen for a little bit of PPTs. I'm not that good at PPTs because I am an educator. I write things and then I teach people. So I'm not good at PowerPoints, but I've made things. So let me just share it with you. Yeah, is my screen visible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the title for the session is Debugging Biotech Careers, Your Gateway to Success. See, this particular topic is a little interesting, a little different. So we would not only be talking about the opportunities that are available in biotechnology sector, but we would be talking about how to debug them. Biotechnology, it's a funny thing to say. Biotechnology is just like a buggy code. Now, if you put in a wrong logic, then output obviously becomes wrong, right? So I know that. Yeah. So I know that most of you would be in your BTech first year, second year, things like that, biotechnology, and you would have a good idea about what biotechnology actually is. But I want to give you a different perspective about it. I've seen students saying that biotechnology is all about research. It's not that. I would be showing you photographs of my journey. I would be connecting it to my journey thus far, and so that you can understand it in a better way. Biotechnology is not only about research. At least I used to think about this in back in 2015 while I was doing my PhD from IIT BHU. So biotechnology spans healthcare, agriculture, environmental sciences, and industrial sectors. Apart from that, there are several other sectors that you can work in, not only research. Biotechnology is one of the most versatile fields that you would come across, right? So it is spanning so many domains. So first of all, you should remove this mindset that if I am doing a biotechnology degree, then I'm only confined to research. No, it's not like that. Career opportunities in biotechnology. So for the first line that I have mentioned over here is most students think that only research exists in biotechnology, but biotechnology has multiple aspects. I have a program called as Udan program in which people ask for career counseling to me. A lot of students come with this mindset that I'm not getting anything good in research. What should I do? So research is not the only avenue that you should be going into. I have gone into academics. I have completed my PhD, but I also suggest people that you should explore opportunities in the industry. Apart from research, product development, for example, bioprocess engineering has a lot of open space. If you are good at bioprocess engineering, then you can go in product development, QA, QC, academia, industry, government jobs. A lot of jobs in government are coming up. For example, recently, Madhya Pradesh Public Service Commission announced the uh, opening of food inspector, drug inspector jobs. Apart from that, jobs in FSSAI, apart from jobs in forensic departments. So all of these opportunities are coming up even in the government sector. DRDO recently advertised a employment opportunity for people who have qualified GATE examination. So new opportunities are coming up in the government sector also, and that was not the case, let us say, 10 years before. It's gradually coming up. For your knowledge, let me tell you that global biotechnology market is expected to cross 3 trillion by 2030, and this is happening just because of the enormous capabilities that biotechnology has. This is my photograph back in 2015 when I started my PhD at BHU. I was, let us say, fortunate enough to get a travel award by ICMR, and I also got the Young Isham Fellowship. The gentleman who's next to me is Professor Robert Vincent. This is from Melbourne 2015. He's one of the leading scientists in bioinformatics. Back in 2015, I had this idea that if I am getting into a PhD degree in biotechnology, all that I have to do is research. So that is why I'm showing you. This is a Young Isham Fellowship, a Young Isham Congress that is going on, and I had a poster presentation over there. So this is what I used to think back in 2015, but this is 2026. Let me move on to this. What are the emerging areas in biotechnology? In the Udan program that I just told you about, people ask me that in which areas should we do our research? In which areas should we do our dissertation? So what are the hot areas of biotechnology that one should always pursue? Many of you would be in your third years or fourth year of your BTech. So plan your dissertation in such a way that you can, if you have a dream of pursuing your PhD or your masters, you can continue your dissertation work in your masters and PhD as well. Bioinformatics, I was very fond of bioinformatics back in 2015. The person who was standing next to me is one of the giants in bioinformatics. So bioinformatics, AI, artificial intelligence, synthetic biology, CRISPR, personalized medicine, these are some of the very, very hot areas. And if you happen to go into these areas, if you start working in these areas from now only, if you start developing your skills in these areas from now only, then there are good chances that you would get a good opportunity, maybe abroad, maybe in India, maybe in industry, things like that. Understand this, that future belongs to interdisciplinary students. Let me give you another example. This is Professor Robert S. Hodges. This photograph is from Whistler 2017, Canada. Again, I got a golden opportunity to visit Canada, completely funded by Government of India, CSIR. I started my work in fungal biology, right? So in fungal biology, this is a conventional setup wherein we have to do histopathology and things like that. Microscopy mostly, phase contrast microscopy and things like that. But I wanted to bring certain new techniques into my work because from 2015 to 2017, I realized that moving in a unidirectional fashion would not help me. I wanted to bring in new techniques into my PhD. So what I did, I went to Whistler. There was a good honking conference that was announced, and it was on peptidomimetics. So my work was on fungal biology. I was doing isolation of antifungal peptides during my PhD. But back in my mind, I wanted to synthesize those peptides. Obviously, I am a biology person. I cannot synthesize those peptides. I wanted to get it done by chemistry people. So I wanted to meet chemistry people. So this conference was for chemistry and it was on peptidomimetics. There I went and there I talked to different people. I got a new perspective that I can do this in my research. I want to emphasize or hammer a point that interdisciplinary is the word that you should focus upon, not just unidimensional approach. No, that would not help you. Try and bring in different things. Whenever you are working in an internship, whenever you are working in your PhD, try and bring as many techniques as possible, because if you biotechnology see is all about techniques. The more techniques you put in, the more techniques you command over, the higher chances are that you would get a good job opportunity, or let us say a PhD opportunity. Coming to the next slide. Skills in demand for biotechnology professionals. Again, degrees don't get you jobs, skills do. I can agree on a point that a particular degree would allow someone to enter into a job opportunity. But if you are not skilled, you would not be able to progress further. You should be skillful, and BTech is the best ground to enhance your skills. You get so much time. You get your vacations in summer, you get your vacations in winter. I had a student back a couple of years back. She was studying in Shulini University. I asked her to do internship or dissertation in every summers, in every winters. So she utilized all of that space or all of those gaps or all of those vacations while doing internships abroad and in India. And currently she could not even complete her BTech, and she got a master's. She got into a fully funded master's program in Taiwan. So this is the power of skill development. Personally speaking, I would divide the skills into two parts. First is the technical skills and second is the soft skills. When I say technical skills, you should be mastering over the lab techniques. I'm sure that you would be taught different techniques starting from SDS page, Western blotting, flow cytometry, electron microscopy, things like that. Get a command over these things so that when you get to do these things on your own, you do not face problems. Apart from that, when you are asked these things in your interview, job interview, you can answer those. Bioinformatics is a fantastic thing that you should learn while you are pursuing your, not only the 6 months course that you are being offered in the college. Learn new things in bioinformatics. What about NGS? What about RNA-seq? Things like that. You should try and develop those skills. R, Python, these are the skills that you should learn. Now coming to the soft skills, how you are presenting your work. I've seen students having great knowledge base, but they are not able to discuss it with me. While I take the interviews of different students for one program and for joining my company itself, I see people having a good knowledge base, having very high CGPA, 9.5, 9.8, 10 CGPAs. They are not able to answer questions. Not, it's not that they are not having the knowledge base, but they are not able to communicate it. So second is the soft skills. Your competition is not your classmate, but it's the skilled candidate working globally. This is the another important feature that you should keep in mind. This is one of our programs, flagship programs of Samadhaan Life Sciences, specifically designed to tell people or to what do you say, to impart education to students in the area of molecular biology, analytical tools, or microbiology. People who do not get a chance to go to the CSIR labs or to enhance their skills. This is completely online program that we are offering. So if any one of you is interested, they can connect with us on 8299134528. This is the number that you can connect with us. And Rekha ma'am has the number. You can contact with us later on. Apart from that, again, I'm saying bioinformatics is the key thing that you should work on. So there are courses like Introduction to Bioinformatics, Computer Aided Drug Designing that you can learn and use this as a stepping stone for your master's or PhD. Now, coming to different job profiles and functions, a lot of students come to me and ask me, sir, is it a good thing to do a PhD? Sir, should I go to industry? Should I go for a PhD? If you want to pursue higher studies, I would want to make this very, very clear. You should be very, very confident about the decision that you want to make. 5 years is the minimum time, at least. I mean, this is the general thing that you should know, because the government itself pays for you if you have qualified CSIR or DBT examinations, then government itself pays for your 5 years. That means 5 years is a general time that is required to complete your PhD. Are you willing to spend those 5 years? And are you having that much of patience that you would want to pursue a PhD? First of all, make that very, very clear in your mind. I've seen students doing PhD for 1 year, 2 years, and then leaving it because they find it very difficult. So this is one thing. Then comes industry. Industry is not the bed of roses. You'll have to follow strict deadlines when you are working in industry. So both of these areas have their limitations and they require different mindsets. So which mindset do you possess? That you can only tell. But once you have made a decision, back it. Do not leave it. That is another important thing. Importance of networking in biotechnology. This is one of the most important things, and I've seen people lacking this. See, most jobs are not applied, they are referred. A lot of students come to me. You might have seen recently IIT Kharagpur had announced Grishma, a fellowship that was for UG students. A lot of students came to me and asked me to refer them for that fellowship, for that particular Grishma fellowship. But obviously, since I do not know them, I did not give them the reference letter. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when you expand your network, there are people who are sharing different job opportunities. I have a lot of people who are connected to me who are different HRs at different leading companies. So when they share job opportunities, I come to know, I make videos on them, I share it on my LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is not optional anymore. Be active on LinkedIn, make a good profile on LinkedIn, get connected with the different HRs of leading companies, specifically like Biocon or Serum India Limited. Connect with HRs. and look at their posts, actually what they are demanding, what area of research are they demanding, what is the area of research that is more commonly being asked for. So these are the things that you should keep in mind. Apart from that, you should be a part of professional organizations like your biotechnology club that is organizing this. Obviously, that is a good thing. Apart from that, Microbiology Society of India or American Microbiology Society. So I've seen many students being a part of that American society. So you can be a part of that society. So you can get a grip on the people who are other people who are connected to that. Conferences and webinars are extremely important. Make it a part to attend international seminars, international conferences. I came to know about this very late during my PhD. So when once you attend conferences and webinars, you come across people who are working in different areas in biotechnology. You learn from them and you get new ideas that this is an area I would want to work in. Another example I would want to give is, so first of all, this is my LinkedIn profile. So if anyone wants to connect with me, because we uh, post job related information, apart from that PhD information, apart from that any project related information on our LinkedIn. So if any one of you is interested, you can send me a connection request and I'll accept it, and then you can stay updated with the information that we post on. This is Professor Jim Cronstedt. Again, in 2018, I got a chance to visit Amsterdam. Again, it was fully funded by Government of India, by Department of Science and Technology. I met him, I read about him way back. He is again a bioinformatics person. In Amsterdam, I met him. This was again ISHAM, International Society for Human and Animal Mycology. And I read about him. He's big shot in bioinformatics, works in University of British Columbia. And I wanted to work. I was very excited to work with him in his laboratory postdoc as a postdoc fellow. And I came to know that he's also visiting this conference. So I got selected as a young Isham fellow over there, and I went on to talk to him. He was very excited, and he said that he would be taking me up as a next postdoc fellow. But again, things changed. I want to hammer a very important point in your mind, that exposure changes perspective. Perspective changes decision. I had a different kind of exposure back in 2015 to 2017. I got a different kind of exposure in 2018 and 19. This was when I was about to complete my PhD. 2020 was when I completed it. So gradually I realized that maybe research is not the thing that I would want to pursue. And then I opened my own company, and you know the rest. So this was Professor Jim Cronstedt, and I was of an opinion that I would be working as a postdoc fellow at that particular time. Coming to CV and research roles. Now, once I received CVs of different students, primarily they through the UDAN program, they send it to me, and they ask me what changes should we make in these CVs. Apart from that, people send their CVs for interviewing for my company. So once you are applying to an academic role, once you are applying to a research role, make sure that you are highlighting the important things that are related to the research, not related to any other thing. Suppose I got a gold medal in playing volleyball, I would not want to highlight that in my research role. What I would be highlighting is, I would be highlighting my publications. I would be highlighting what research experiences I've got. In first year, I did this. In second year, I got this. In third year, I did this. So research roles should be highlighted if you are applying to a research job, not anything else. Apart from that, the next thing that should be highlighted is lab techniques. What techniques I have? ELISA, I know PCR, I know Western blotting, I know FACS, things like that. So this should be your approach. Your CV should give a peep into your candidature. And for UG candidates, the CV should be around 1 to 1.5 pages, and a photograph of you on the right hand side or left hand side, whatever you feel convenient. See, CV for industry and corporate roles. CV for a research role is entirely different. CV for a corporate role is entirely different. Corporate people want to test how good are you in lab techniques. Apart from that, they also want to see your project management skills or teamwork skills. So you should be highlighting if you came across any of these projects where you had worked in a team or you had managed a team, then you should be highlighting those while you are applying for a corporate role. Mistakes to avoid in biotechnology CV. I really want to talk about this. As I said, I receive CVs from people for different roles in my company. I recently advertised a role of office assistant in Samadhaan Life Sciences. People don't even change the first line of their CV. In the first line, it's mentioned that my aim is to work as a PhD fellow. If your aim is to work as a PhD fellow and you are applying to an office assistant job, it is contradictory. And I would not get a good feel about your CV in the first instance only. Many students write to me on LinkedIn and mention dear ma'am rather than dear sir. This gives a peep into your insincerity. If you are not willing to spend time to write your documents well, if you are not willing to spend time in addressing someone in a correct way, I would not have a good opinion about you. So whenever you are writing to someone, do not write generic mails. Dear sir, does not sound good. Dear Dr. Neelabh would sound good, or dear Dr. Arun would sound good. I mean, dear sir is so generic. It would appear that you have typed the same email and sending to any number of people. Does not sound good. Avoid generic CVs. So just like I said, the CV that you have written for a research role should not be sent to a corporate person. It should be tailor made. It should be specifically for that particular job. Apart from that, I've seen people, they do not quantify their achievement. Suppose I've written 3 review articles during my BTech. So I would specifically highlight that written 3 review articles. These are the journals in which my review articles are. This would give a sense to the reader that yes, this person is very, very serious about the research role that we are offering. Do not write multiple, right? I mean, obviously, if you have multiple hundreds of these things, then you can do that. But if you have 3 or 4, mention that number. For example, over here, suppose you designed a new lab protocol which decreased the cost of the lab by 15%. This should be written. The exact number should be mentioned. Again, crafting a strong cover letter. If a job is advertised, you should not only send the CV. It does not make a good appearance. Your CV should be accompanied by a cover letter. And what does that cover letter that cover letter should have? It should have specifically should mention the requirements that are the requirements for that job, and you have that requirements, and it should show that how come you are fit for doing that particular role or for doing that particular job. So a cover letter is a must that you should accompany when you are applying for a particular job, right? Next, job search strategies. I've seen even brilliant students fail interviews and job search because they don't prepare strategically. As I said, LinkedIn is no more optional. It's very, very important thing. I've seen HRs, they do not post the job opportunities on the website nowadays. Most of the job opportunities are posted on LinkedIn, and then the interviews are taken and the students are getting selected. HRs from even Reliance Life Sciences. I've seen a lot of advertisements from Reliance Life Sciences, specifically for female candidates. They appear on the LinkedIn. So if you do not have a good profile on LinkedIn, make one and connect with the HRs. Not only LinkedIn, Indeed, Naukri.com, and other job portals, for example, Glassdoors. These are some very important portals that you should register yourself on if you want a job opportunity, of course. And before applying to a particular company, study about that company. What is the vision of that company? What are the products that are made for that company? And then tailor your CV according to the job requirements that are for that company. Right. Next, coming to the interview. Now, suppose you applied for a job, and what kind of or what are the questions that you can expect in a biotechnology interview? So I'm going step by step in debugging the job opportunities and gateway. I'm talking about gate and other examinations in just a bit. If you are applying to a, let us say, a corporate job or let us say a research job, what are the common questions that you would come across? See, I have my students working in IISc, Indian Institute of Science. I have my students working in IIT Bombay. You would be knowing that even in MTech, once you are applying to MTech through GATE, uh, some IITs or some IIScs, they ask, uh, they take interviews. I have many students in Coca-Cola. I have many students in Pepsi, Distillery. They tell me that when they go for the job opportunities, when they went for the job interview, the primary thing that was asked to them was about their dissertation. That means if you are doing your BTech and in your final year, obviously you would be doing a dissertation of some time. What was the dissertation about? And what were the questions that you answered through that dissertation? What were the lab techniques that you learned during that dissertation? What can you conclude from that dissertation? Apart from that, let me take an example. Suppose your work was on protein isolation. Let us say you isolated a protein with the help of size exclusion chromatography. If suppose size exclusion chromatography is not available in your lab, what other technique that you would, what is the other technique that you can use? Things like that. So this would test your technical aspects or research or problem solving ability. One of my students went into IISc and PhD IISc interview, and she was asked that if suppose uh, can you uh, can you recollect a problem that you came across with your bachelor's dissertation, and how did you solve it? So she had to think about something that went wrong during her BTech dissertation, and she happened to get a direct PhD. I mean, from BTech, she got into a direct PhD. I would be showing her photograph to you in just a moment. She was asked that, can you tell about any event where you came across a problem and how you were able to solve it? So the entire thing they asked. So you should be prepared about things like that or questions like that. Apart from that, technical versus behavioral questions, I told you what technical questions would be. Behavioral questions means they would be putting you into some stress like situations. Suppose this went wrong, what would you do? Like that. Are you able to tolerate the stress or not? So that would be tested. Right. Next, coming to biotechnology internships and fellowships. Again, a very important thing that I would want you to understand and remember, specifically first years, second years, third year people. I'm not saying fourth year people because after final year of biotechnology, most of the internships they require pursuing people, not completed people. So first year, second year, third year, you have a very good chance to get into internships provided by IISc, ICERS, NIPERS, ONGC, FSSAI, n number of fellowships, and most of them, or n number of internships, and most of them are paid. This is the best thing. Yeah, IIT Bombay gives you a very high amount. IIT Kharagpur was giving you a very high amount in Grishma, right? So try and land into a internship like that. Get into contact with the professors over there, and once you get into an internship and once you impress everyone with your work, there are high chances that the same person would be taking you up for any upcoming opportunity. let me give you an example. I was doing my master's project from IITR, Indian Institute of Toxicology Research in CSIR. It's a CSIR lab. The professor himself said to me that, do you want to do a PhD? I said yes. And he said that maybe if you want, I can offer you a PhD position. But my research area was different. So I went into a different lab. But things like that happen. If you are doing a good work, you get options or you get offers by the professors themselves. So this is the importance of internships. Again, an important thing is internships are your testing ground. That means if you are not able to understand that which area I should be working in or which area do I fancy working in, I should be working in ecology or I should be working in microbiology, mol bio, which area? Do internships. While you are doing internships, you would be able to identify which area you want to work in. That is the biggest problem with most of the people. They are not able to identify that what they should be doing. If you don't test your interest, you will choose the wrong career. There are so many avenues that are open that you are bound to take a wrong decision if you do not, or if you have not gone through each of these very well. Okay, so that should be another thing. Now, coming to the gateway concept. Many of you would be interested in pursuing research or higher studies. I would be talking about both higher studies in India as well as higher studies in abroad. I still have time, right? Yeah. So, being BTech students, the best or the most important exam that you should target is your GATE. GATE Biotechnology, GATE Life Science, GATE Ecology is also now open. You can target these three examinations. I can tell you a lot about GATE because I have been mentoring students for GATE. My company has been mentoring students for GATE, and we have got the best ranks. AIR 3 was from our classes. The next exam is GAT-B. So GAT-B has been scheduled on 17th May. That is also for MTech. Very, very nice institutes you can get from GAT-B. Obviously, if you want to go into IITs or IISCs, GATE is the go-to examination. But if you want to go for bioprocess engineering, let us say, ICT Mumbai is the go-to institute, Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. If you get into ICT Mumbai, there is a course, MTech Bioprocess Engineering. Now, Bioprocess has a fantastic, as I already said, Bioprocess is a fantastic, what do you say, open spaces. You can get good jobs. I have seen people, many of my students also, uh, who was from the GAT-B previous batch, they got into leading companies of bioprocess engineering. Even Biocon and Serum India Limited, they come for campus placements over there. So you can take that. Apart from that, if your interest is in bioinformatics, then Triple IT Delhi also takes admissions through GAT-B, and it also takes admissions through GATE. CUET PG is another examination, but CUET PG, I doubt that there are good institutes for MTech people. CSIR, DBT, ICMR. Now see, the problem is from the December session, the CSIR and DBT have merged themselves. You would know that previously also CSIR was different. There were so many units, 13 units you had to prepare. And now since DBT is also merged, the syllabus becomes far more exhaustive. So I would tell you that if you get good rank in GATE, I would be showing you the photograph of people who have got direct PhD. If you get a good rank in GATE, you can directly go into PhD from your BTech. You would not have to spend the 2 years of MTech. That is the thing. If you get a good GATE score. Apart from that, next coming to higher education, India and abroad. If you qualify GATE with a good rank, then there are institutes in Germany, and I'm not able to recall the exact name of the institute of Germany. Uh, mm, but I can recall NUS, National University of Singapore. It takes up the GATE score. So you can go there. Apart from that, I do not suggest students for doing their masters abroad because the fellowship opportunities are very limited for your masters. But I often suggest students that if you want to do a PhD, the PhD opportunities are fully funded abroad. So if you want to do a PhD, you can pursue it abroad. Obviously, masters opportunities are a bit limited. Again, you can go for DART fellowship. Again, you can go for Erasmus Mundus fellowship. There are different fellowships that you can go into. I would not be discussing that over here. Otherwise, the session would be enormously long. So industry jobs I have already told you about. GATE, GATB, CVT, PG, CSIR, DBT, ICMR I have told you about. I have qualified them. So that's why I'm telling. Coming to PhD and postdoc opportunities. Now, Technical University of Munich. Okay, thank you, sir. PhD and postdoc opportunities. See, if you want to do your, or if you are seeing your uh, career in academics, if you want to be an assistant professor, if you want to be a professor, if you want to be a scientist in CSIR labs, postdoc is important. If you want to be a leading scientist or scientist D, scientist E, postdoc is important because you would see that in CSIR advertisement nowadays, they are mentioning that postdoc from leading institutes is necessary. So if you want to take that area, if you want to take that route, scientist, assistant professor, then PhD and postdoc you'll have to do, in my opinion, obviously. But people get into jobs with non-PhD background also, but in my opinion, that should be the case. You should once completed your postdoc and then you should come back and apply for assistant professor or jobs related to scientists. But if you have very clarity in your mind that I do not want to go into academia or research, then after your BTech, you can start searching for your industry jobs and you can earn good. I mean, a person doing a PhD or postdoc requires a lot of time. During that time period, you can gain experience and start earning that much. Have clarity in your mind. That is the important thing. Scholarships and funding opportunities are available. There are so many funding opportunities now available. The problem is that we do not, or we are not aware, or we are not informed. There are so many opportunities now that are available. A lot of agencies are funding people. Previously, there was only CSIR, DST, and DBT. ICMR is now funding. ICMR is providing travel opportunities as well. Concluding my point, your degree is not your destiny. Your decisions are. Again, I would like to reiterate the point. Exposure gives rise to perspectives. Perspective gives rise to your decisions. So I've talked about opportunities, CV writing, job search tips, key examinations that you can target. Key takeaway is be proactive. Connect yourself to different people. Register on websites such as Biotechnica, register on websites such as Health Biotech, connect with people who are posting opportunities like this. Be aware. Awareness creates informed decisions. Right? This is the last photograph that I would want to show you. Be informed and take right decisions in life. So this is one of the programs that I was talking about, Udan program. And this is for Udan India. We also take programs for Udan abroad. So if you have, confusions regarding your career, general counseling sessions we offer. We offer a general consultation, document preparation, and interview preparation session. If you have got a call from abroad or from India, you can contact us and we can help you. So again, the number has been mentioned over here, 8299134528. You can take a clip, a photograph of that, and you can connect with us later on. Coming to GATE results, I was talking about GATE and I was telling you that we have got fantastic results. So this was GATE AIR 14 that we got this time, AIR 53, AIR 74, AIR 123 and 380, Excel 149. So many students got selected. Fortunately, we got more than 50% people selected that were in our batch last year. Now, just a moment. Yeah. So this is Chinmay, AIR 3. He is working in IISc Bangalore, MTech, doing MTech. Adina and Charu, she got GATE BT AIR 14. I was talking about her, that she got into a direct PhD program after completing her BTech in IISc. Of course, she was telling me about her interview experience. That is what I shared with you. Chinmay did not want to pursue a direct PhD, although he got AIR 3. He did not want to pursue a direct PhD. He wanted to explore through MTech that whether he wants to go for a PhD or not. That is the main important thing. First of all, be very clear that whether you want to do a PhD or not. and you can do it with your masters. These are our best sellers. These are some of the books that I have written in handwritten notes form: Gate BT Blueprint, Gate GAT-B Blueprint, and Bioprocess Engineering and Instrumentation. Bioprocess Engineering and Instrumentation is absolute horror for biotechnology students. Gate asks about 30 marks questions from this only, bioprocess engineering. So if you have a good grip on bioprocess, you can secure a good rank. So the session is open now for question and answers. I believe I have completed in time.
You're absolutely spot on time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Neelabh.
Yeah.
Thanks for the enlightening session. And I would request you to give some, regarding the gate examinations, like what subjects they should focus on, and like when they should start preparing.
Okay, sure, ma'am. Just give me a bit.
I think this year it was very tough. The gate exam, it was.
Yes.
So
Just
if you
give me a
could.
minute, ma'am. I'll just open. See, are you guys able to see the screen?
Presently, our PPT is being shared.
I'm sharing it right now. Is it visible now? A blank page?
Yes, it has come on.
Yeah. See, so if you are preparing for gate examination, the thing is that, see, gate examination is occurring each year in February, right? And February 11th. If you are targeting gate examination, then the best time to start preparation is from June, right? What I do with my students is, and that is what you should be doing. So June till December should be the time that you should be studying, right? So this should be the time for studying, and January should be completely for revision. When I say revision, what do I mean? I am asking you to solve past 10 years question papers. Gate does not repeat the questions, but the pattern, obviously, when you solve the previous year question papers, the pattern you understand the pattern, what is being asked. If I tell you what are the important topics, first and the foremost thing is bioprocess engineering. Understand this, that if you go and check out the past 10 years question paper, recently, like, if I'm not wrong, 2021, 2022 was the paper where IIT Bombay made the paper. It was purely on bioprocess engineering. And since then, gradually the percentage marks of bioprocess engineering is increasing. If you take an average of previous past 5 years, you would see that bioprocess engineering is being asked for 30 marks. People are terrified of bioprocess engineering because they have to read that Doran, right? And Schuler and Kargi, you might have come across. Your teachers would be teaching from that book, Doran and Schuler and Kargi. Personally speaking, Doran is a very nice book, but the language that has been used over there is a little difficult. I personally found it a little difficult. So you should, if you are from first year or second, the best time to prepare for gate is, or the best time to give gate is third year, because you do not have a load of your the company is coming and the project. So if you get a good rank in third year, you can always improve it in fourth year. So bioprocess engineering, you should start studying from your second year itself. Get a good grip of bioprocess engineering. If you are not from mathematics background, then it becomes more important, because a lot of numericals are asked from this particular process portion. Next important topic is biochem. This is the almost equal weightage. Let us say a little less weightage, maybe 25 marks or something. Biochemistry would be asked. Next comes mol bio. Next, you can say cell bio. I would be adding over here, somewhere over here, mol bio, and I would be adding RDT and techniques. So BP, biochem, RDT techniques portion, analytical techniques complete portion, cell bio, then you can add on to genetics, then you can say animal, plant, microbial, biotechnology, and then microbiology and things like that. So these are some of the most important topics that you should definitely cover. Make it a point from June, start from June, finish till December, whatever you have to study, finish till December, and from January start revising. PYQs are non-negotiable. You have to do all the past 10 years PYQs. In previous year examination, in this 2026 examination, I had completed all the PYQs, past 10 years PYQs with my students. That is the reason you start expecting questions that this would be asked, this would be asked, this would be asked. That is the reason why we got this much of success. So that is what I would be suggesting you. Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to add anything else to this?
Yes, I think this is good, sir. And I think students, we can ask the students if they have any doubt.
Yes. If you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer those.
Yes, Siddhartha and Bharat, you can ask.
Sir, good morning, sir. Siddhartha here from first year.
Good morning.
Sir, since you told since we are competing globally across like suppose we are from India and there are students from all across like the western side, the eastern side,
Yeah.
and even Russia. So since how can undergraduate students in India realistically reach international standards, sir? Like before we are going to apply for higher studies, they will have a benchmark, right? So
see, yeah. Thank you so much. So in US, I've been to US. I've been to different countries of the world. I showed you the photographs. What I realized is that abroad countries, they have more emphasis on the practical education rather than theoretical knowledge. In UG, what I experienced in my UG was we were more focused on the theoretical knowledge. I did not know back then that how a SDS page, I knew theoretically how SDS page worked, but I had not seen how a SDS page would work. Had not seen how an agarose gel electrophoresis works. I had not seen a PCR machine back then. I'm talking about 2015s. I mean, 2015 is when I started or joined my PhD way back then. In my BTech, I'm talking about this. So you should make it a point that in your BTech, suppose you are in first year, you are having your summer vacations and then you are having your winter vacations. 2 times you are getting a gap. Make it a point to apply to international opportunities. For example, let me give you an example of OIST. You might have heard about that. OIST, it is a university in Japan. And
the Okinawa and Korean Institute of Advanced Studies,
right. So find out these abroad universities that are offering opportunities to international students, specifically from first year, second year. They do. Apart from that, there is. I'm not able to identify exactly. I'm not able to recall the exact name of the institute. It is in Saudi Arabia, King Saud Institute. So that offers a fantastic paid fellowship for students of undergraduate. Find out these opportunities, not only in India. Obviously, CSIR labs have skill development programs for first years that you should definitely attend if you want to be at par to those students, because they already know that they are exposed to those lab techniques, but you are not. If you are not, obviously. So then you should be targeting each year. That is what I gave you an example of one of my students whom I said that you should be using all the opportunities. And she, after just before completing her BTech, she got into Taiwan. So this is the power of your internship and dissertation opportunities that you can take care.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Bharat.
I'm Bharat. I'm doing my second year biotech degree, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, say I am a fresh graduate applying for new jobs. What is that key factor that the recruiter will look into in my CV that will make my CV better than other who apply?
It depends upon what the company is about, Bharat. Suppose the company is about a marketing, suppose the company is offering you a marketing job. And obviously the CV that you should be writing, or when you are applying to that marketing job, obviously your CV should have something that you have achieved in the marketing sector. Obviously, I mean, if you are applying to a biotechnology company, it should have something that you have done in the biotechnology sector, so that the person comes to know that yes, this guy is sincere. That is generally what happens. So when you are applying to a particular company, make sure that you know about the vision, what the company is actually making, or what is the job that is actually what the job is actually offering, and which position you are applying to. Do you have any prerequisites of that? If you are having a prerequisite, then definitely mention it in your documents. That is what the interviewer, or that is what the person who is reading your CV would see, and obviously call you for an interview. Otherwise, and in most of the cases nowadays, the CV shortlisting is automatic. That means the keywords are identified from the CV, and then those people are only called for the interview, and other peoples are not called. So with respect to a particular job, you should have keywords in your CV, and then only you would be called for an interview, and then everything depends upon how your interview goes. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pratika, you
Good
had something
afternoon,
to
sir.
ask?
I'm second year.
You were not audible, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Aisha.
Hi, Aisha. Yeah.
Sir, actually, there is an honors degree program provided by our college, and I was wondering, should I be doing that for my abroad studies? Because I was looking that, like, for abroad foreign universities, we need 180 credits. Like, how should I be working on that?
You have a BTech. I mean, you have a BTech degree, or I'm not able to understand what degree you have and what course you want to apply to.
No, I'm currently pursuing my second year BTech, and in our college, a honors degree is side by side given to us. Like, we can opt for it. So I'm confused. Should I be taking that? Because abroad, foreign universities are asking for 180 credits in some of the universities I looked
Yes.
into. So is that needed,
That
or like?
that can be a good option, Aisha. But I would, if you ask my perspective about it, I would personally want to know which courses you are applying to abroad before giving you a correct decision. Before conveying to what I think about it, I would want to get a detail about what or which colleges you are applying to. Personally speaking, I would not be too keen to apply to US universities. Are you looking at US universities as of now? Because that credit thing is uh, there.
No, sir. Like,
Europe universities.
on a general basis, I started to search, and that's what the first thing I got. Like, you have to do 180 credits, so I didn't know what to do after that.
I mean, you can opt for that, but first of all, I would ask you to check out the universities that you are interested to. Do not search for general things, because when you are applying to a master's degree, funding is the crunch. You do not get funding, I mean, easily, because the funding opportunities are very, very less. So check out the individual university criteria. What are the credits that they are asking for? And are you making up those credits? Or if that can be attained only through a master's degree, then that is a different point altogether. Or maybe if you, my personal opinion is, if you want to do a PhD, US is currently not a good choice. I personally tell my students Europe, obviously, and Australia. Directly, BTech students. One of our colleagues who is working in the Udan program itself, she got into Australia directly after doing her BTech, and she did not opt for a master's program, an honors program. That is what I know personally. So I would suggest you to look into universities and check out their eligibility criteria first before taking the next further step. Aisha, have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. I'm Pratika from second year Biotech. So
Hmm.
my question is, at this point, what should be my major focus, sir? Like gate preparation or skill development? And also, I have another question. Previously, you mentioned that CV, like by checking CVs, they check for certain keywords. Can you
Hmm.
enlighten us regarding that?
So, coming to your first question, that what should be my sole focus, first sole focus. Again, I said that you should be very clear in your mind whether you want to pursue a higher education or not. It depends upon your choice whether you want to pursue the assistant professor, associate professor, professor line or a scientist line. If you want that line, you will have to do a PhD and a postdoc. If you are interested in an industry job, BTech can do that. So first of all, make that very, very clear in your mind. If you want to do a PhD, go for GATE. Start preparing for your from your second year only, and it's not that difficult. I mean, starting from second year, you have vacations, right? In your vacations only, you can go for skill development program and side by side start preparing for your GATE examination. You have fantastic professors with you, and ideally, if you read the notes that are being given to you by your professors, obviously you would have a good grip, and then you can brush it up while you are getting closer to the GATE examination. You can only give the GATE exam in third year. So you are in second year, start using that particular time in preparing for GATE and side by side utilizing any gaps in your college or pursuing skill development programs or maybe abroad programs. Coming to your next point, how are the CVs shortlisted? For example, uh, a job is advertised. Let us say in a biotechnology company. Let us say that Biocon advertises a job, and it is for a professional who can operate fax flow cytometry. Now, obviously, if you do not have any experience in flow cytometry, your CV would not be shortlisted. So I should have, let us say, 2 months experience in operating fax, something like that. Let us say if a job is asked for electron microscopy or confocal microscopy, you should have that keyword in that in your CV. If a technical job is advertised, you should have the techniques mentioned in your CV only, then your CV would be shortlisted. If any administrative job is advertised, then obviously you should have 6 months of administrative experience or 6 months of working as a administrator or something like that in your CV. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Sham from second year Biotechnology.
Sham, your voice is very low. Can you just speak a little louder?
Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my question is, apart from GATE, what technical skill or lab technique should we focus to stay competitive in biotech career?
A good question. So first of all, I would say molecular biology. Everyone, all of you should have a good grip on molecular biology. All the laboratories, even my laboratory, we were working in the area of fungal biology, but I had to go into the molecular biology of fungi. I had to isolate the DNA. I had to get the DNA sequenced and getting the idea about the sequence of the DNA. Although my core area was not that, but I had to do that. So you should have a good idea about the molecular biology techniques, right from DNA isolation. You should be knowing, or you should be independently able to do experiments like this: DNA isolation, RNA isolation, or maybe if you know how to run a PCR on your own, how to design primers on your own. Now, if you have this kind of idea, let us go to proteomics a little bit. Can you isolate proteins through different types of chromatographies? Then, if you have a good idea about that, can you or do you know about NGS, next generation sequencing? Can you run a sequencer on your own? Things like that. Have you understood, Shyam?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. I'm
Yes.
Vastain.
So I
Hi,
have
Varshit.
two questions, sir. Firstly, I'm very confused as a second year biotech student as to when I should start applying for jobs. Should it be after my BTech biotech, or should it be before my PhD or after my masters, or should I do it during my masters if that's even possible? And secondly, if I want to go into the side of bioinformatics, what languages should I start learning now?
Yeah. So coming to the second question first, Python, BioPython, R, these are the things that you should start learning from now itself. There are many programs that are mentioned there that are available in Coursera. Do you know about Coursera?
Yes, sir.
edX.
Yes, sir.
So edX has a good or nice program that is on Python. It is from University of Manchester, I believe, and they also give a fantastic waiver, free fee waiver. So approximately 70 to 80% waiver they give. So you can start learning from there. Obviously, if you have a good a course in your department that is running, that is fine. Apart from that, you can start doing those things. Again, coming to your question that whether I should be starting to apply to jobs, when I should be applying to the jobs, whether I should be applying in the of second year or third year. See, again, the question, we come back to the same point. What do you want to do? If you want to be a scientist, again, before PhD, it would not work. You would not get a good college or a fantastic IIT or ICERS. You would not get to teach over there. If you want that, apply after your postdoc. So once your postdoc is completed, come back to India. I would always want uh, you to do your postdoc from abroad or maybe PhD from abroad. Come back to India and then start applying to IITs, or maybe from abroad only you can start applying to IITs. See, that is the first thing. If you are not interested in that, start applying after your BTech. Let us say in fourth year only, you would be having campus replacements. So try through that campus placement. Apart from that, apply to Biocon, apply to Serum India Limited, apply to CIPLA, apply to Ranbaxy in your fourth year only. Do not just drop your CV onto their website. It does not work. Yeah, does not work. They don't pay attention to that. What you should do is connect on LinkedIn, connect to the HRs on LinkedIn, see their web pages, see their pages, what are they, when are they advertising, what are the recent advertisements, and then apply to those. That would give you a good opportunity, or that would give you a good reply from them immediately. So that is what my advice to you would be.
Okay,
Have
sir.
I?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
A student had posed a question in the chat box.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to check it out. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. This is Manintar from second year biotech. I would like to know that if we start now, considering today as day one, will we be able to make it into a foreign university for fellowships of masters, taking into account that I have a brief knowledge about subjects I've learned so far? Yeah, see, application to foreign universities take anywhere around 6 to 8 months. So if you are from second year biotechnology, then you have a lot of time. What I would ask you to, first of all, do not run for the QR rankings of the universities. Have a good idea that if I pursue masters from this university, next what? What would I be doing next? Do I want to pursue a PhD? If I am doing this particular program from this university, will it help me to get a PhD from another university, let us say Stanford, let us say Oxford, let us say Cambridge? Think broadly. Think about these universities. I want to go to Stanford here. I want to go to Oxford. I want to go to Cambridge. It would take anywhere around 6 to 8 months, obviously. So make it a point, start from checking out masters and then see that if I do masters from this, would I be landing into a good PhD opportunity? Think like that. Obviously, if you are starting from your second year, if you are starting your preparations from second year, if you are starting your documentation from second year, if you are starting your SOPs and letter of motivations, if you are preparing it, obviously you can take help from your professors and get your SOPs checked, get your a letter of motivations checked from them, and get your references. I mean, they would be asking you references also. So you talk to professors who can give you references. Work in CSIR labs. Increase your chances of getting selected. Increase or elaborate your CV. Make your CV such that even when it comes to some professor, he is not able to reject you. That is the main important point. Did you understand, Maninder?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
I'm Loga Vignesh, second year Biotech. Actually, you
Yes.
have mentioned the path to the post-graduation job and even research too. But what should I do if I'm trying to start a startup? Because a startup in a biotech is not a big deal. It's more than a big deal.
Yeah, great. I wanted someone to ask this because I had taken only two things at a time. I was talking about the industry and I was talking about the higher education. I did not talk about the entrepreneurship thing. Depends upon what you want to do in entrepreneurship. Suppose that I want to work in the area of plants, or let us say I want to uh, um, design some new kind of culturing process. Let us say plant tissue culture. Well, let us leave that planting. Let us say that I want to start plant tissue culture. Then I should have a good hand in plant tissue culture. If I can do that by some kind of a training after my bachelor's, I'm good to do it. No need to go for a PhD. When you are going for a PhD, you are narrowing down your subject, isn't it? So I did my BTech in biotechnology, MTech in biotechnology, and then when I started working on fungal biology, my entire thing narrowed down. If you should have a clear idea that I want to start this startup, and then start your education, start building your education, start building your skills around that point. So whether you are a BTech, or whether you are a MTech, or whether you are a PhD does not matter. It matters that how much you know about that startup that you want to do. I have seen people starting their startups from their BTech only and they are doing good. So that can be done. Just increase your game. Just increase your skill set. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Deepika, my program, GATE program is available only in the online mode. Okay. So personally speaking, I prefer online mode and I suggest students, because offline mode, what happens is just after your college, you are not able to come back to the classes. So it's online mode only. My all classes are online. So obviously the number has been given over here. I can give you the number here itself and you can connect with us. So this is the number: 8299134528. So this is the number. You can get in touch with me or any other team member, and you can ask your queries, or you can maybe register for the GATE program, upcoming GATE program. So I think I have answered all the queries, right? Yeah. Vidya, your voice is very low. Can you speak a little louder? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah. So many of my students got interview calls this year from IISc itself. The interviews have not happened, so I cannot tell you what they asked in this particular cycle. But I can tell you about the last cycle. And ideally, you should have a rank under, maybe under 200 to get a PhD in IIT or IISc. If you want it in IISc, ideally it should be under 50, I would say, because my student got it at AIR 14 and her interview was very, very nice. MTech interviews for IISc have already occurred through GATE. So I can tell you, one of my students, the one that achieved AIR 53, she's going to get I believe she is going to get into ISC because her interview was fantastic. When you are approaching a direct to PhD, the first thing is your gate rank. If your gate rank is under 200, let us say, you would get a call, otherwise you would not get a call itself. Apart from that, I don't think your CGPA matters that much. Obviously, if it is above 8, it is good. In most of the IITs and IISCs, they want you to know a little bit of mathematics. The Charu, she was asked mathematics. She was asked, they drew a graph and they asked her, what does this graph tell you? So mathematics is asked even from biology, biotechnology students. So that you should keep in mind. Apart from that, they will ask you what do you want to do? If we select you in this PhD cycle, what would you want to do? So you should be very clear about the objectives that you would have in mind. Apart from that, why do you want to do it in our IIT or in our IISc? That is again another question. So obviously these are the questions that they ask. Did you understand, Vidya? Postgraduate degrees. I mean, you see, I have divided the IIT. I had made a video in which I had divided the IITs into 3 tiers: the top IITs, the mid-tier IITs, and the lower tier IITs. So if you talk about the lower tier IITs or the IITs that you can get at the lowest rank, see, the COAP counseling goes up to 10 rounds. You cannot predict that at the last rounds which IITs you can get. But if you are getting a rank somewhere around 700, 600, 700, you can get into IIT Jodhpur, IIT Gandhinagar, maybe IIT Ropar, IIT Bhilai. These are some lower tier IITs, not because the IIT is not that good, but obviously because the IIT is newer as compared to the previous IITs. But again, I'm saying that the on-spot counseling happens and you can get the IIT at a far lower rank also. Even if you have lower ranks, you can get into NITs. There are very, very nice NITs. For example, NIT Bhopal for bioinformatics is really good. Triple IT Allahabad is very nice for bioinformatics. Career opportunities in India. You will have to come back to India and you will have to start applying to the CSIR scientist position, ICMR scientist position, and the colleges. I mean, central universities, state universities, things like that. Apart from that, you can also apply to industries. Postdocs get a good salary from, let us say, the leading companies. For example, Biocon hires postdocs at a good salary. Serum India hires, Cipla hires. So there are a lot of avenues that you can. But generally, people take the PhD postdoc this route when they have to come back and work as a scientist in some CSIR institute or a academic job. The other question is, good afternoon, sir. I am Sugita from second year biotech student. What are the qualifications that should a student have to apply to a broad university, and I'm planning on doing my master's, and do you have any country suggestion as well? I've answered to this, I believe. The countries that I am suggesting as of now is Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. In Europe, Germany is a fantastic country that you can do. Apart from that, Singapore is a fantastic country that you can opt for. Currently, the situation between India and US is not that good. That is why I'm not suggesting that. Apart from that, Canada, the situation is not very favorable with Canada also. I mean, previously it was very bad and now it's improving. So, but these countries are good at whatever I told you. What are the qualifications? Obviously, you'll have to complete your BTech, complete your UG, and then only you can apply to your masters. Depends whether you want to apply to a direct PhD or you want to apply for a masters. So I think that would do. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Dr. Neelabh. Thank you, Dr. Neelabh. And I think students had a lot of questions. I think they found it very interesting, and I think they can connect with you. Those students who are, I think they want to prepare for GATE, they can get connected with Dr. Neelabh. So because we also have the students in the, usually they get trained in the final year.
Yeah.
So I think final year it will be too late. I
And
think
the best time is to, I'm starting from second year, you should prepare, and third year, you should give the examination. So if you get a very good rank in third year, obviously you have a chance to improve it in the fourth year.
okay. Yeah, sure. So thank you, thank you, Dr. Neelabh, on
Thank you.
behalf of the Department of Biotechnology, Journal Club, and BT Society. Really, thank you so much, because in spite of your busy schedule, and it got postponed also. I'm really sorry for that.
No problem.
And I would like to thank Arun Kumar sir and all the students for joining this session and interacting with Dr. Neelabh. So I think we can conclude. Treya and Janani, can you take over?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, we can take the group photo before that. So I request all to switch on the video. We can take the group photo. Yes, students, all of you, we want to take the group photo. So can you just switch on the video camera so that we can take the photo. Treya, are you taking the photo?
Yes, ma'am.
Many people have not switched on the camera. Just for a second, let us take the photo.
Just a minute. Ma'am, I am taking a screenshot. Can others too? Saran, can you also take a pic, please?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it's done.
Yes, over to Janani.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful and highly informative session. I would like to briefly highlight a few takeaways from today's talk. While a degree helps you enter the professional world, long term success depends on building strong, relevant skills and staying competitive at a global level, emphasizing the importance of interdisciplinary thinking, patience in research, and discipline in meeting industry deadlines. Actively networking, especially through platforms like LinkedIn, and participating in conferences or webinar can broaden perspectives and open new opportunities. Customizing your CV, preparing strategically for applications, and gaining experience through internships or fellowships are crucial steps. Finally, career growth is shaped more by your decisions, exposure, and effort than by your degree alone. These insights are truly valuable for all of us as we plan our future in biotechnology. I would like to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Neelabh Srivatsava, for delivering such a highly insightful and informative session. Sir, your talk has truly given us valuable ideas and clearer perspective on building our careers in biotechnology. I extend my sincere thanks to the Department of Biotechnology, Rajalakshmi Engineering College, for giving us the opportunity to organize this wonderful event. I would also like to thank all the faculty members for their constant support and encouragement in making this session successful. A special thanks to all the students who actively participated and made this session engaging and interactive. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you all once again. Have a great day ahead. And I request all the participants to kindly fill out the feedback form that has been shared in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So thank you all. We can, yes. So I think we can, I think a feedback form everybody can fill, and I think we can end the session. And thank you, sir. So thank you all. Have a good day.